So you've been playing Chelsea for 5 years. How could you describe your character? And if you would have to pick one scene that could define her the most, which one would it be?
She's a very strong woman. I think I started off as a con artist on the show, which was really fun to kind of play that side of her. And then she evolved into all of these different people and layers. And she definitely softened a little bit, but still kept her tough exterior. So I admire that about her. It's hard to pick one scene to define her because she has had so many things happen. I'd say any of like the maternal scenes when she's protected her son, or when Connor almost lost his eyesight, the way she sticks up for her man, for Adam, when she sticks up to Victor, the way she's would stick up to Sharon when all that stuff was happening a few years ago, when she was living on the property and Chelsea was threatened by that. And then her love for Adam definitely defines her. So any of those, one of their 3 marriages that they had on the show, any of those scenes I think could help define her for sure, and her strength. And being a mom is important to her too, so any of those.
Yeah, if you would have to pick one emotional scene during those 5 years that felt close to home.
The scenes that hit close to home are always the ones that are just kind of the simple, heartfelt scenes. The good thing about it is not a lot of things that have happened to Chelsea on the show have happened to Melissa, thank God, because it's been like death and cheating and babies out of, with a different baby daddy. Like, luckily that stuff doesn't hit home for me. But, any of the emotional stuff of fear, of she's had, like I said, her son almost lost, his vision actually. And so that's never happened to me, but just stuff like that, the stuff that's emotional that hits home with family. Anytime you're fearful about anything happening with your family, that's always like hit home for me.
Talk about the relation between Chelsea and Adam. What makes it so different from any other love story we can see on the radar?
I think Chelsea and Adam are really special just because of their history. They have not always had rainbows and unicorns in their. They've had a lot of problems, and I think they've always worked through them and come around a stronger team at the end. I think it's like a true love story. And also a good thing about them is they also fight. They fight fair, but they fight. They fight, and they've always it's always come from a place of love, but they definitely have had their share of adversity, but they fight similarly, and they're both passionate in the good ways and in the bad. And I think it's just a real true love story. And if you look back at everything they've been through, they've broken up, they've gotten back together, but they've always had this deep, deep love for each other. And I think it's special to see on a show like this.
So Chelsea has changed many times last names.
Yes.
So which one fits her the best?
Let's see, she's Chelsea, Lawson, Newman, McAvoy, Newman. So probably Newman, I'd have to say. It was actually funny at my, just a side note, when I got married in real life. I've only been married once in real life. I was on a different soap opera, All My Children, before this, and my dad's speech, he started it off as Melissa, Novak, McDermott, Lavery, Chandler, from that, and then Newman, McAvoy, Newman, Katrosar. And everyone in the barn just like clapped, because between 2 soap operas, I've had a lot of last names. But no, certainly, Newman is a big thing. Her marriage to Dylan was really special too, and that was a really fun storyline to play with Steve Burton too, because she was lying about the baby. So there was just so much juice in that. So I think she's earned every last name. Yeah.
Does your husband Matt watch the show sometimes and give you advice or impressions about what when he sees certain scenes?
He definitely watches the show. He does not give me advice because he knows better. He's a businessman and I don't give him advice. So he doesn't give me advice about my job. No, but he does watch. He watches almost every episode I'm on, and he loves it. He gets a real kick out of it. He really admires what I do, just like I admire what he does. And it's so different what we do. So yeah, but he loves the show. He loves it.
One bold move you made in your life that still have an impact today?
One bold move in my life? Well, I think probably being in this business was a bold move. I've been in it since I was about 10, and it can be a really hard business to be in and to choose this career. And it was a bold move to move to California after graduating college when I was 21, and just waiting tables for 3 years and hostessing and babysitting until I booked my first main big gig. So I guess choosing this career, I'd consider a pretty bold move.
Some shows you participate were Criminal Minds, Bones.
Uh-huh.
Those are really big in France. So, what memories do you have about those guest
That
starring?
was really fun. I've always had very fun, juicy guest stars. Criminal Minds was a stripper, and Bones was my husband was murdered, and I was his trophy wife, but secretly having an affair with his female assistant. So I've had some really soapy, juicy guest stars. I like to keep it interesting. Yeah, those shows were a blast, and it's just fun to do them because as much as I love playing Chelsea, I play her all year round. So anytime we have a week off, I try to just do something else because it's just fun to take on a new character and be a stripper for a day. Why not?
Any plans for the summer?
We've been traveling a lot. We went to Australia in February, and last June, my husband and I went to Africa, went to Kenya. So this summer, I think we've outdone our travel plans for the past 9 months. So I think this summer we're just gonna maybe take a couple road trips, but nothing too crazy planned. We're gonna kind of put our passport away for a little while and just enjoy being home, I think, and work. We don't get a hiatus like everyone else, which is pretty neat. We get to work all summer long on the show. So just work and play this summer. Yeah.
A funny tweet. I'm not pregnant, but I'm tired. I love my hair, but I don't do buttocks. Next, honey, you responded at one point on a tweet. Something.
Yeah.
How surprised are you?
Wait,
sometimes?
say it again. Wait, which one was it?
This one was I'm not pregnant, but I'm tired.
Yes,
and
you're right.
Next, honey, that was a funny one.
Well, social media is so funny, and our amazing team and publicists are always like, just ignore the hate, don't add fuel. But I just can't help it sometimes. You just keep poking the bear, and I usually ignore them. There was one that said, you look really tired, and your hair looks like really stringy lately, and so are you pregnant or something like that? And so I was like, really? So I just quoted it, and I said, well, I think I can't remember. I said something like, well, I did cut my hair, and I am tired. Don't get me wrong, but no, sorry, not pregnant. Go bleep yourself. But I didn't write that. Right, publicist?
But
yeah, I just, you have to, as long as you don't curse back, I think you're allowed, if people are going to give it, they can get it back a little bit, My Twitter, my business.
One funny habit you have when you go on the set or when you leave the set, something that you do.
You know what someone just told me, actually? One of our amazing editors, Kimberly, told me at the Christmas party, which I did not notice I do, she edits it, so she sees the whole take right before and after. She sees the whole bit, not just what they see. She sees the 10 seconds before and the 10 seconds after. And she's like, why do you make that sound? And I was like, what sound? And I guess, right before, there's so much energy and pressure and stress, and so I guess I was doing this, and I still do it, and I didn't realize, right before we go, I'm always like, it's like, I do this, thing, I just, get it off my chest, and I'm like, wait, I do that. She's like, I love it. I look forward to it now. And I'm like, that's so weird. But it's like you're just shaking off the negative energy, or just the nervous energy, I should say. And so I guess I do that, which is really weird. But I just roll my tongue and just make some sounds.
All right.
Who knew? I'm such a weirdo. But she gets a kick out of it. So now I just do it for her. So I do that. And then what else? We run lines and. Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Of course, anytime.
Cool.
Thanks.